Hi, folks. Nick Talker here with the Historical Fencing Guild. Before we get into it, I do need to pay a few bills that help make the Historical Fencing Guild possible. First, we have to thank our sponsorship slash tie-ins with our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. That's IndieCD.org, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, and musicians. We are also made possible by sales of the Simple Sword, the Fighting Axe, and the Simple Spear, all part of my ongoing series of Western martial arts manuals designed to help you go from having never handled a sword to teaching the art to others. And, of course, we are made possible by the wonderful patrons I have over at the Patreon, including Off in the Woods, Frog G, Ronald, Riehn, Bladed Thesis, Brian K. Morris, Cindy Koepp, Steve Agosto, Dawn Dulas, Angelina, Vaquera-Linke, Trilaina, and Joe Bachman. I still need to fix that because Joe's in there too. But you guys are, through your monthly donations, what allow me to afford to do the things that I am planning and get weapons to review, keep myself and others in gear. It just wouldn't work without you. So I am eternally thankful. Before we get into the proper commentary, I want to put an announcement because some of you may be concerned. One of our own, John Miner, also known as the guy who looks like Hagrid, was in a severe motorcycle accident last night near the wee hours. I found out, I think the accident was at 11, but I didn't find out till 2 because I was away from my phone. He has, among other conditions, bleeding on the brain, and has been flown out to the South Bend, I want to say Memorial Hospital in South Bend. I am, of course, deeply concerned about him as he is a dear friend and colleague and trainer and just an incredible guy. I learned a whole lot from him, and I hope to continue to in the future. But he and his family are in our thoughts and prayers. I don't know fully their situation, so I don't know fully how best to be of assistance other than to be present and not harassing. However, should it be declared that they have unexpected costs that they can't or need help handling, I will be probably doing some kind of fundraiser notification thing here because he is one of our own. Beyond that, hi guys. We have a lot to discuss, and like I said, that news kind of threw me off this week. For those of you who don't know, I didn't know it. It did hit pretty tough. We have a lot going on, and it's going to be exciting for me because tomorrow should be practice, and we had to cancel short the first one. We had to cancel the second this year because my son was very ill. So I am looking forward to this third practice, especially since I have some new materials from Purple Heart Armory that I am excited to review. I had planned to do a full review breakdown on them earlier, but obviously my services were required elsewhere. It's important in Western martial arts to remember how easy we can get hurt often on the field and try to take care. I have several people I'm very dear to ride motorcycles. In fact, all the men in my family ride motorcycles. I used to ride a little bit. I never got my license because I developed some balance issues, amongst other things. And I decided at that time it would not be safe for me to ride. That being said, keep your eyes open. It's summertime. The bikes are out there, and I don't want anybody getting hit. Now, we have some challenges to discuss. We have some gear to discuss. Right now, I am trying to devise a new set of armor for myself that will be both modular and, in this case, lightweight and breathable for the the heat, because for me the vast majority of threat comes to me due to heat. I um i naturally have some conditions that affect my ability to tolerate heat. uh, I have some medication that worsens that, and as we are going into what we do, we need to keep track of that. um, I nearly got killed by heat, and ironically, having John Miner on the mind uh, is it's attached to this, because I don't know how many times I've told this story, and some of you may know it, may not. But at an event back when I was in the SCA called Simple Day, I want to say Simple Day in the country. It's held in Indianapolis. I I went to this event, and it was the event I got to really fight the huge melees. I got, well, huge for me. I got to spar, and I got awarded my purple fret. I sorry, not my purple fret, my Cavendish knot, uh, which was at the time award for fencing and teaching. I remember my buddy and swordmaster. He got his the same day, and I was in line ahead of him, and he actually elbowed me to grab the fanciest one. I'm like, okay, bud, that's fine. But I was wearing black ballistic nylon as my armor at the time, and I collapsed from heat exhaustion, and they had to strip me down to my skivvies, so to speak. And of course, as they were taking me, the royal procession came by. I got to bow to the queen. That was fun. And while they were well, while they were trying to pull my clothes off, I was trying to save the ladies' lives, because I was worried that my wife would kill us all, because these women were pulling my clothes off, and I was delirious, so I couldn't stop them. But I'm explaining to these very nice ladies that I really appreciate the attention, and I don't know why you're trying to pull my clothes off. I don't know why I can't stop you, but you have to understand, my wife's going to kill us all. She's a skillet. It's this big, and you're going to die. Please. And she went to Nick. I'm here. It's okay. It kind of pat me on the chest, and it slammed me to the ground because there was no resistance. So they didn't let her touch me anymore. And they took me off into a pool to cool me off after the showers of agony. Cold water in a shower when you have heat exhaustion may be necessary, but it's a whole universe of pain. They then tried to put me in a pool and submerge me. The problem is, if you submerge somebody's head rapidly who has heat exhaustion, the temperature change can cause them to stroke out. And it was something I was aware of, but I could not tell the people that were attempting to do this uh, that they are going to kill me. So, or risk doing so. And while this is going on, this great big hand grabs me by the head and shoulders and just yoinks me out of the water. And it was John. He'd caught up in John's EMT firefighter trained, and he got me cooled off in the safe way, and I appreciate that. My memories after that get rather vague, understandably. The longer I was in that state, the weirder my memories are. But uh, it was a heck of an event, and the act of nearly biting it from heat has made me very, very cautious with it and very observant of my fighters. So, guys, no matter how much fun it is, no matter how great it is, you have to stop. You have to hydrate. In this heat, you have to hydrate. And you have to, you just have to take breaks. You have to be careful. So, I am looking for armor that will provide exactly what I need for what we do while not uh, cooking me to death. So, that is something I am in the works. Now, um, I think Red Dragon Armory makes a light fencing hoodie, essentially. And I believe it's 300 newtons, which is really cool. It also has integrated soft armor at the joints that slide into pockets. Now, the cost of it is a little spicy for me right now because it's in the three digits. But I'm going to talk to my lovely wife about how we feel about that and possibly try to invest in that or make a bootleg and make our own using a similar idea of a very light, sturdy material hoodie. It may be a case of I may just go down to Goodwill and find, a zippered jacket that looks vaguely sturdy and work from there. But I will keep you advised because I want us to be safe. Now, my armor standards used to be built around stopping a broken blade. Now, because we use the polypropylene and HDPE, high density polyethylene, yes, uh, weaponry, the standard is a little different. We're not very likely to have one of those break into a sharp point like a foil could. I'd prefer not to be stabbed by an actual foil, although if it ever happened after I survived it, because I'd survive it, it would make a great scar and a great story. Um, that being said, I am fascinated by how people approach dealing with heat in armor, and I'm fascinated by the style. So I'm doing a bit of research. Good things are coming along that front. Now I've prattled on quite a bit because I've had a lot on my mind, and I am excited to do some product reviews, but I want to do the full product review after tomorrow so that I can review and go on about the PHA stilettos. We're talking daggers, not high heel shoes. And yes, please never wear high heel shoes in combat. But beyond that, uh, and there's the pointer sword. There's some stuff going on I want to talk about, but I want to have Trey's opinion as well, and I have the opportunity to do that tomorrow. So I might even get my brother Ricky to spar and do some things. That would be glorious. Hopefully, I will have more footage there. My patrons got some of the footage from the very brief practice. I did not share the footage of what all happened, but enough footage that you guys get to know it directly. We'll see how this one goes, and if there is relevant footage, I will share it. If we get into other activities, perhaps throwing knives, perhaps archery, I don't know, I'll share that too. And should the weather be such that people aren't feeling fighty, maybe I can get my forge out and bang on some metal. I really need to do that. I am aching to do that. But I have to be careful because next week, I just pulled the commission about 5 minutes before the start of the show that I will be working on. And then I have my big art program the 10th and June 13th. It's 13th or 14th. Let me check. June 14th. I just realized something that makes me happy. Next week is Friday the 13th. Oh, I'm gonna watch House on Haunted Hill. Okay. Um, but I will be doing live draw, a live drawing program that for YouTube viewers will be over on the Nicholas Tucker channel. For you guys over on Twitch and Kick, it should be aired to uh, uh, Nicholas, the Nick T, either blah, the Nick T underscore artist Twitch, and I think my Kick is Nicholas Tucker. I've had my Twitch set up much longer than I realized, so we'll see. Um, Beyond that, I need to get into the chat because I've kind of neglected it, and we're going to see who's chatting and what's going on, and I look forward to hearing from you. So first through the doors, Max. Max, holler. Uh, Good to hear from you, and hello, Churro. And Thesis is greeting you guys, and hi, Thesis, and hello. And we got lots of greetings to everybody. So interesting how language shifts in generations. Very. And Trilaina's lurking on all pages because we bless her. And hello, Kitty. You know what I mean. Hi, Kitty. Kitty. Evening, good. And gosh, Nick. Oh, gosh, Nick on a hog is such a cool mental image. Yes, I used to ride. I mean, it was well. Okay, I rode a 360, a Honda 360 CL. I'm sorry, a CL 360, the CR. But they both had scrambler pipes. But most of my time was spent on a Yamaha. Oh god, XR 50L. I can show you guys the pictures of the bike I used to ride at another time. Uh, and I have many stories of me on my little motorbike tooling around LaPorte County, but I have I have stories of me doing all sorts of tricks too. And to give you one that will really shock you, Max, one day, quite some time ago, my lovely wife came out and to visit my folks and tried it, and she went for a ride on a motorcycle. Which that's something to think about. Yeah, young Nick was a different creature. You guys have no idea. And hello, Dawn. And we've got greetings, and we've got greetings. I missed the stream earlier, but the puzzle looks good. I wore a nylon tank top since I've been once and was perfectly hydrated. Still thought I was going to end up on the sunny side, but yeah. Uh, Unfortunately, synthetic fabrics do not breathe. The other thing is because I tend to be around fires, you do not want to be around fires in synthetic fabrics. You want cotton during the summer. You prefer, if you can tolerate it, wool during the winter. I can't have either. But, and hi, Indy, doing the little duck dance. Yeah, I don't like nylon much. It doesn't breathe well. Not at all. If it had been 3 degrees hotter that day, I think I've literally passed out. It happens. Stilts, you say? Uh, oh. And I physically cannot survive in dry heat. Well, I understand. Even if it's 80, if it's dry, I feel like a shriveled lizard. I hate all heat, but humidity is absolute worst. Dry heat a close second. Wait. Girl 62 hottest. What do you mean 80? I could never. I live for the wetlands. Bonjour, folks. And where heat is involved, I have no problem with heat. If I, I'm sorry, I just saw a later comment. If I have my druthers, I am up to my nose in nice, clear, fresh water. Basically, there are reasons why I have in certain circles the moniker, the Manatee Man. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped a couple, and I want to get into that. Hey, Joe. And hi, bad at rolling 20s plus tech guy Joe. Yeah, you're getting the theme of Joe, except you have to add one of the most awesome people on earth. I almost got heat stroke during a dance performance. The idiot in charge didn't take into account that we were performing outside in the summer. Oh my gosh. And can we say that marching band directors, as a rule, I was not in marching band, but having heard the stories from my wife, they need to be smited, like for not grasping heat sometimes. Oh no. Oh gosh. So I'm glad you didn't, but it's very bad. I've been heat sick plenty of times, but I've never crossed the line. Mm. Oh my gosh, I could imagine dancing in this heat, especially without an air conditioner. I could barely handle dancing in my room alone. That's why I am saving up to do some things to facilitate that. I will be saving up my funds for the extended and accepting donations to put a 20 by 20 a 20 by 20 carport in my backyard so that we can fight under there and have shelter from weather, shelter from the sun. I'll be able to run lights up into it to light it up for when we have practices. It just seems like a good idea. It's just the cheapest one I've seen is like $400, so I'm going to need to save for a while, and again accept any donations I can get. Have you seen those Miss Claus costumes? Imagine that in July. Oh, that was rough. We're way off topic, but I was uh, the mouse at Chuck E. Cheese for a while, and yes, I understand. Sounds awful. I'm glad to be here too. Good. Hey, you're wearing the shirt I got you. Yes, I quite like the shirt. It's become one of my favorites. I very appreciate you. Now, getting back onto topic, I can bring up the armor. Let me see here. I need to go. Here, because I saw that there is a sale going on medieval collectibles. So give me a moment and let me keep up with the chat. Yes, the spiders. Yeah, and the cold can be something else too. But yes, full dress in September in the Minnesota State Fair Parade. You should talk to Mandy. I bet you can swap stories. But and yes, the spiders, the spiders. Oh God, the spiders. Present. Share screen. We're going to go window because that will let me flicker between things. And what I need to do while I am here, and you guys can't see it, is close this real quick because I was working on the commission for Dawn and I don't want to risk anything getting out. That's terrifying. Okay. So let me see. Because I was discussing the armor, I am looking for, you know what? Um, let me see. Because I'm thinking we want functional armor. No, no. Okay, here. No, no, no. Not dorky hoodies. Why are they selling? Okay, that's cute though. That wasn't what I was took. Red dragon. I thought for sure they were here. Just go here. No. Okay. Well, then I will go and I will just do the YouTube HEMA, no, not YouTube thing, HEMA hoodie, HEMA armored hoodie. There was a great one by Destroyer Mods, but they discontinued it, and I don't know why. Okay. There we go, and there's the link, which takes us all the way back to Medieval Collectibles. I am mentioning this because they are selling it right now, and I think it may be a little small for me, but at $100 with the features this has, I am seriously intrigued. So, um, because it has integrated soft armor pockets, it has blade catchers in the neck, double asymmetric zipper. This is all very good stuff. I don't know if there's padding in the hood itself. I would put padding in the hood itself as a way to give a little back. Price on Red Dragon with shipping's running $186. Thank you, Trey. So that may be something I consider saving up for myself, or just essentially borrowing the design and making it go the way I want, because we believe in a lot of modification here. And I'm skipping over some of the more personalized commentary. Hey, Houston Dave. The main topic we're talking about right now is looking for a lighter, heat-tolerant armor, because many years ago I had heat exhaustion, possibly heat stroke, and it nearly killed me because I was wearing completely unbreathable armor at the time. And so we're looking for better options. And knowing that I saw the light sparring hoodie on sale, I wanted to let folks know about that. With shipping to Indiana, that shouldn't be that bad, because Medieval Collectibles is based out of Indiana. So I am intrigued. And I also would love to know I'm trying to check. It talks about reinforced elbow and zippered pockets, but I don't know if it talks about. Okay, it's made from cotton. I don't think it would pass a punch test. There used to be one that was basically like this that would pass the punch test. I think the Destroyer Mods one actually got discontinued because people were buying it and it was working, and it was significantly cheaper than the HEMA armor. So because they have HEMA light sparring jackets. If I bring it back up, give me just a second. Nope. There we are. But they're all 200 or more, and it looks like that we're because of the site I'm on, there's a lot of fashionable silliness going on, which I have no problem with fashionable silliness, but it doesn't really apply to what I am doing. So let me go here. Oh no, that's not what I meant by armor, and that's the problem. Let's go to let's go to Purple Heart Armory. There we go. Now see, this one is running 109, but it is I believe, pullover hoodie. That is comes into two quantities. That is 350 newtons. So I am really, really interested in this as well. That's something that this race fabric gives you room for a proper gorget. So it's one of those, we have to look around, but we need to keep in mind that that heat can be a thing, and the only problem with the stuff is I believe there is, 12 to 16 weeks for delivery, if not in stock. So I would definitely do some foam covering the larynx to soften and protect you from the last proper gorget. And I have to go look in centimeters because, okay, so this is not normally in stock. Kills me. It absolutely kills me. But when you look at the armor, and this is pre-made, I like to show you guys this stuff so that I can show you the pricing. And then when I say we try to make it home whenever possible, you can see why. Now, I should probably be fighting in something like this, which it's not coming up. There we go. And of course, it would be in not Hungarian red, although that is darn sexy. I thought there was a brown. Do they not have a brown? They have an orange. Orange is not bad. I like the orange. Actually, orange is not bad at all. Oh, they do have brown number 6. Yeah. So I'd run a brown or possibly an orange just for safety, and because I don't need to look cool as a swordmaster, I want to be cool. But these come with the plates and arm guards, etc. Now, of course, this also comes by looking at the site and others with detailed pictures and understanding how they're attached. We have to add that factor in when we do it. The other thing is these usually have a handedness where they pad up heavily one arm, not both. I think that's insane. You should not have handedness applied to your armor. So, my net is running super slow right now. I wonder why. Almost like I'm streaming. But, let's see. Overprotective. Price tag. Okay, there we go. Evening from here. Light duty armor. And that's what I'm looking for. What do you guys use in sparring? Okay, that's a great question. Let me go solo. Let me see what sparring blades I have. Well, we use polypropylene, and we use usually polypropylene HDPE. So this is one of my trainers. This was a gift from, ironically, John Miner, because of course John Miner gave me the Hobbit sword. But I actually review these Macs, and I review the different trainers. We also use a lot of the basic trainers from Purple Heart Armory. So this is one style we train in. Occasionally we will train with things that look like this, which this is for when you're dealing with SCA heavy armor, and there is no thrust tip on this so that you can see the internals. This is a stuff called rattan. So it's like bamboo, but goes all the way through. And essentially, it's like hitting somebody with a baseball bat. But when it breaks down, instead of splintering, it mushes, which makes it safer. We also train with I just put my steel swords away, so give me a second to find one of my actual practice rapiers. But we trained Trilaina and I have spent years training with steel rapiers. Give me just a second. I can grab one of those for you. Sorry, I have been actually cleaning. This is my short saber. My actual preferred rapier is somewhere. What is crunching? Oh, okay. I see what's crunching. Like I said, I'm in the middle. This is steel. It flexes, but we tend to match the needs of our community. So I have trained with foils. I will be doing sword demos and training techniques, etc. Oh, there's a decapitated bone dragon. Give me a second. At the Benton County Public Library, to be announced probably after summer reading. There may be an opportunity, if there is interest, for guided drilling, not hand to hand, but thanks, Mags. Texas Renaissance Fair has some amazing retailers, and if you go down there and you happen to see the Boss Blades, you might see Steve Clausen, who's an amazing gentleman. Weapon-wise, I can show you more. I just actually, in my efforts to clean up my study, I've been moving the weapons out so I can move the other things around because it's turned into chaos in here. But now, if you're talking weapon-wise, rapier, broadsword, longsword, staff, axe, spear, assorted other pole arms, katanas. I'd have to go across to get my sexy katana, but we can wait on that. There are a great number of styles. We also do throwing weapons, and we have done archery. Any and all of that may happen at tomorrow's practice. I'm a day late and several bucks short. Cindy, you are an angel amongst us. You are always beloved whenever you run. How did the tournament go? Well, okay. Last practice got canceled because Sandra was extremely sick, and I didn't want to risk transferring it to anyone. It's been a while since we've had a tournament. We'll probably have a tournament at the end of the year. At the end of summer or end of fall for the guild. Now, one thing about the Historical Fencing Guild that you need to understand, Max, is the Historical Fencing Guild, while a group itself, was originally founded to be a neutral meeting place between groups, so that people like Thesis, who does assorted Chinese arts, can have a rule set and a location to spar sort of neutral territory with someone who might be an FCA fighter or a collegiate fencer. You just have to kind of discuss what the conventions are and go at it. One of my great passions in this is to facilitate cross-training, because a great many martial arts do not do cross-training of any sort. Orange. Yes, I do. Han Dynasty Gin Trainer is right over here. that one's in reach. My katana's on its rack. But so again, this has a bit of a point more than I like, and the flex is present. These are made by a company called Ibogu. You can find them on is this Ibogu? I don't know. Wait, this might not be Ibogu. This one's a different company. Yeah, this one's a different company than Ibogu. But a great many of my trainers come from Ibogu. This one came from a different one. You can find these on Amazon. Part of my mission is to find trainers that are sub $50. It looks very edible. Is that a one or two-handed sword? It can be two-handed. Haven't gotten into sparring yet, unless you count push hands. Eons ago, I did Renaissance fencing. Used a foil with the cup hilt and quillions. Also had a cloak and dagger, which was rather like half-length foil. Do you usually have an offhanded shield, or is it mostly sword? I fight, unless you're speaking to the chat, I fight sword and dagger, preferably. Now, my dagger was right here, too. All my gear is not placed where it's supposed to be because I am cleaning hard. But dagger's about as long as my arm and my forearm. So you're looking at that 18-inch blade. I prefer a 34-inch blade. My favorite style of weapon is either a Tizona, which is better known as a cup hilt rapier, or something like this, because I like hand protection, and the keyhole grip makes for an agile and controllable weapon. This is, of course, a lifesteal, so obviously I would not fight with that. But we also constructed buffers and axes like the random acts of kindness. You know, I can show you how to make that, and I've done videos along the lines of how to make your own buffers. We will be probably doing another one because it is the season. So there, we might do a once the study is cleared out, a crafting stream where I just sit here and do things while we're making buffers and whatever, quite like a half-length foil. Contemplated making a giant cardboard version of Nexus Warhammer. I think I'll draw it if I get motivation tonight. That sounds like a great idea. And I prefer to use two sword and cloak preferentially. I did use a cloak when I needed to, hated it, but it was only tournament bout win in the SCA was with a cloak. The other guy was rather foolish, and I took advantage of it. I think he underestimated me because he was much higher rank, and I'm a scrawny little twerp. Absolutely. And Thesis is just trains in a sword. Why would you hate the cloak? Is there some way? Was in the way when fighting block your vision? It could block your vision. It can block their vision, and it's a different thing. Yes, we do train in Warhammers, mauls. The first weapon I actually ever seriously trained with was a splitting maul for defense, if we go way back. And that's an 8 to 16 pound fat axe for splitting wood. I was asking about her push-out attorney. Yes, about my double saber work. That seminar ended in February. I've been focused on getting ready for ECMAC because I was learning two forms to do it. I do practice double saber form from time to time, but I haven't done much with it. Single saber form, I've competed at both tournaments. I have it properly mapped out, and I'm learning the details now. Fascinating. I'm really excited when I'm old enough to learn how to sword fight. I am too, and I am very sorry because I would love, honestly, to train both you and Churro, and I would have trained Alec and Jade and a few others who've shown interest. But I have to be so careful because of the legalities. And please remember, martial arts are inherently dangerous. By viewing this, you waive the right to hold the creator, platform, and guest liable for any damages, injury, or loss of life that may occur. Guys, I'm not kidding about that. I've had bad actors, and I mean people who are deliberately doing inappropriate things, uh, nearly break my collarbone. I've had the ribs torn from my sternum because a shot stuck uh, from a double lunge, uh, cracking 3 of them. The number of bruises, sprain like entities, and muscle pulls are infinite. You have to be careful doing this. And Max, the push hands tourney is at the end of the month. Stay tuned. I can't wait. I actively dislike cloaks because most floppy weapons, flail type things, you end up fighting your own weapon. And there's a lot of truth to that. I like my flexible weapons. That's true, but your flexible weapon, I would say that the your meteor hammers and your rope darts are much closer to a retrievable ranged weapon than a what I would consider a close-in weapon. I wouldn't consider it a melee weapon. I'd actually consider it a projectile you can retrieve. And yes, never underestimate the power bomb. I feel like my biggest worry with handling weaponry is that in recent years I've been physically sickly and I'm not sure if I can safely handle weapons. And that is a very real point. Now, I will say, once you are an adult, there are ways to train even if you don't actually spar. So that you can go through the guards the way I do my drills and gain a lot of physical strength, comfort, and prowess and confidence when you've never crossed a blade. Don't think that will make you a fighter per se, but one of my, we'll say, dearest students was a trans lady by the name of Kitsune Windsor, and she was wheelchair bound and had extreme, amazing, amazing art talent, but she could not hold the weight of a sword, and she said she wished she could just be part of it somehow. And since she lived in California, we had to do stuff online, and we found that she could hold an old telescopic, like antenna from a radio. You know what I'm talking about? The kind of go, and she would do the drills in her wheelchair with that. And while combat prowess be danged, she was studying the art, and I hold to that makes her a martial artist, and I will defend that because she was giving everything she could. And for me, one thing you have to learn about me is if there's a person who has $100 and they give you 10, I'm appreciative of it. But the person who only has $10 and gives you 10, that's a whole different ballpark. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ouch, glad you're okay with all those accidents. I've been doing this for 25 years. I specialize in training new people. People who are new or come from special backgrounds are frankly the most dangerous to fight because they don't know calibration yet. They don't know their own strength. They don't know their reach. and it's very, very easy for them to very totally accidentally hurt you. Which is why, at least locally, I prefer to train people uh, where if it's a new person, I work with them first, and that's why while my armor is minimal most of the time, I do tend to up armor for students. Now, with someone who's professional like Trilaina, I mean, we've been fighting each other for 20 years across multiple groups and styles. I can play patty cake with her with just about anything any day of the week. Um, there's, and that's why she's the only person I truly condone having essentially branded historical fencing guild practices. Because she both gets the severity and she gets, importantly, the mindset, both of safety and of service. So there is that. And I don't think there's anyone on the martial field that I would consider a colleague that I respect their opinion more. And on the rare times Trilaina and I have disagreed about something martial related, and it does occasionally happen, I have found, even if I don't agree with her, her commentary to always be insightful and well thought. A lot of times it just comes down to differences in experiences. And that's okay too. I don't want to mass produce fighters. I'm about helping people find their fight. At Kitty, your mileage may vary. I had enough trouble fighting my opponent's blades because of how the SCA rigged tourneys. Anyway, you don't have enough popcorn for that story. Oh, I understand. And hello, Dark Moon. Hey, this party goes as long as you guys need it to go. You know that. And we've got greetings for Dark Moon and greetings for Dark Moon. Hello, sword friends. How are we doing this fine summer evening? I'm doing quite well. Tomorrow I have a practice. I have house cleaning to do and yard work to do, but the I'm sorry, my brain is just spinning because I've had such good conversations. The conversation has been mostly centered on discussing trying to design light grade armor and talking about what we do with some young folks who are interested in eventually joining the hobby or the sport. For me, it's a lifestyle, so it's a whole different thing. Very good. Calibration is something I'm working on currently. My instructor has told me you're not trying to kill me. You're just trying to hit me. That is a very real thing. In working with calibration, I find having a PEL or some other fixed object you can strike in whatever system you're using, Dark Moon, because I honestly can't quite remember what style you were fighting, but the goal is to hit it and make contact without feeling the vibration come up the weapon. And many a tree or post has been used in that way to train somebody out of hitting too hard. Because if you can feel it coming up the weapon, you're hitting it too hard. Calibration is the hardest of the basic things to get, and everybody slips. Everybody slips. This is why if I see somebody who looks like they're taking the bout too seriously, if I see somebody who's been at it and they're starting to get tired, I tend to call holds and ask people to stop just because I would rather prevent an issue before it happens. And greetings, and you guys are chatting. Off topic with my pet stray catches. Yay. Okay. Just got off a shift at work, having a little drink. Okay. Be safe. My instructors told me I use 60% every time. I'm still practicing Balinese single sword. Delightful. Balinese single sword is a wonderful system. I do love it. The Italians, don't get me wrong. Now, I have a bit of favoritism towards the French, but I will always, not the French, good Lord, the Spanish. I will always be a Gigante guy at heart. So Bolognese is beautiful. That's very, very nice. Do you have good manuals? Are you in need of them? I believe I've seen some rattling around, and if not, like on files. Oh, does Iberian, but heads on the counter thrust. But so we butt heads on counter thrusting at times, but that's okay. Okay. I can see where you're having just that little bit of conflict, and it's fascinating when you have that that area and being able to have. Okay, the historical fencing guild started out as workshops where because we found that at practices back when I was SCA. At practices, we would have a lot of fighting, but not much theory and discussion because everybody wants to fight. So we had to find a way to get together to do theory and discussion. Extreme slow work to go, I am doing this. Why isn't it working? It's why videotapes of bouts were so very important. Because then you could see what people were doing right and what people were doing wrong. Let me see something. Sorry, we had a message come through. Anyway, occasionally I get people who have trouble communicating through the assorted nets. But the cross-style, cross-training is a beautiful concept. I am open to new manuals. Any books, please. I love manuals. Okay, now a lot of them are locked up on an old computer, but I will. Dark Moon, DM me or email me at Nicholas Tockert .business@gmail.com. Set my regular Gmail. And I will start sending you things. I'm actually on a series of newsletters where I get PDFs of current manual discussions, fighting discussions, modern research and translations, things like that. And I am making which I have to update some more, a collective file on my Patreon. So there's a file where we're dumping manuals, and we have, yes, Lisa sent me a fascinating manual that I've been going over as I have had time. The Eastern approach to manuals is interesting in that it's a lot more poetic. So it takes time to process. And I am very much a functionalist. And that being said, hi, Johnny. I am too. Driving automatics is boring. I will concur that driving automatics is boring. I enjoyed driving my manual when I had it enough that I'm like, it hurts, but it's fun. Turned out I'd been driving stick with a broken elbow, and I didn't notice. I had actually taken a very hard greatsword shot that clipped my elbow, and it did some lasting damage. See the earlier conversation on uh, calibration and how hard we should be hitting. And there's a lot of greetings going back and forth. And yes, there is the manual, which I have to locate because, again, I am in the middle of this great. My study got used as storage for a few situations, and now I'm still trying to fight to get the stuff out. I had the perfect table, but it rained on it, and the table basically came to pieces. So I'm in trouble again. We're working on it. But I'm really, really glad to see young people interested in picking up what we do. I can recommend a couple sites to you, Max and Churro, if you are interested in doing your research. I would start with, I'll bring it up as a banner. Where is it? Oh, wait, no. Here we go. And please, if you ever go to woodenswords.com, that's Purple Heart Armory, use the ! click equals 1745. That lets them know that I sent you, and it ensures that you'll be able to, that if you buy something, I think I get a 2%, 3% kickback. It's quite nice. It turns into store credit for me. I just buy my way back to help offset the cost of the goods that I train in. And since I am going to take a minute to address this, when you are here, you're going to see a lot. So I will do that. Hi. And we will look where you are probably going to be most interested for gear is the basic trainers. And I say that because the basic trainers, while they do not flex, are, well, not price high to low. Let me see newest. I want to see what newest brings up. But they are inexpensive. They are surprisingly high quality. There are several I can recommend, especially once we have some idea. They're out of stock on these. I have 4 of them. I'll be doing a training. I'll be tomorrow testing these with Trey, and if they turn out to be stable, I will be singing their praises. I have one of these in stock that I will be singing the praise of. I like that we're getting numbered in stock items because that does help. Knowing what's in stock and what isn't. But while these aren't as pretty as some trainers, they are made in America, and they are reasonable prices. So I really recommend, if you're looking for trainers, you look here. Now, you can go here to discuss armor, but as you are local, you'll find out that I can do lessons on how to make armor, and it would be terrible, utterly terrible for the teens to request me to do a program on practical armor making for Western martial arts. I know that would be something that would be a horrible thing for you guys to do. As recently as last year, I could still find the first 20 pages of a Spanish rapier manual I started to translate. The owner of the rest was supposed to send me and never got around to it. You have 3 of... Oh, I also had the privilege of actually designing a trainer that was sold. It's not currently available, but I want to reach out to him and see if I can't get a 2.0 done in the new lighter plastics, because they're very nice. And Christian he keeps improving I don't think you. Yeah, I don't think you can still get the Italian Tactical Side Sword Trainer, but I would love to try. Let me see. It's like if you're. I have a properly translated Degrassi manual around here somewhere. If you can let me know, possibly we can get that into the folder for manuals. I would love to have a non-pirated version of Gigantes, the Soleil, his rapier fencing manual. But there are other options available. Oh, it's on paper? Okay. Well, there are scanners and stuff that can make that not just be on paper. We will have to look into that. And when you say "I beg of thee, Nick, please make one," do you mean a armor making class? I can also demonstrate low cost ways to make trainers out of HDPE. You have to be careful not to breathe in plastic when you do it, but we actually had. Okay, you want the class? I will speak to Amanda. It would be better if you and anyone else interested spoke to Amanda, because it won't be till this fall after summer reading, because if you look at the calendar, it's booked. But I'll be happy to do that. I'll be happy to do, again, weapon making classes. I will be happy to do basic intro to sword drilling, but you guys can't, do any freestyle fighting, because that would not be safe. You understand what I'm saying? And if you're interested in a lot of this, Max, the simple sword, the fighting axe, and the simple spear are not only available on Amazon for sale and through Kindle, but they are available at your local library, because I put them there myself. So if that interests you, by all means, look into it. And we are over the hour. I have a good bit of things that I need to address ahead of tomorrow's practice. So unfortunately, I can't dawdle as much as I would like to. Well, that needs to stay. That needs to go. So guys, we got a comment. And that's the link for my Amazon store. Thank you very much, Cindy Cat. You are a goddess. And go to CKOEPP.com for dragons and other great things. Books. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She made my manatee. But Barbara, my manatee, is in the living room. Guys, keep your guard up. Keep your eyes open. Be kind to yourself and each other. And as always, thank you for supporting your local sword master. If you want to help keep this channel going, consider becoming a patron for as little as $1 a month. That will give you access to exclusive videos are starting to trickle in there. Secret folders with techniques. Sometimes you even get behind the scenes on manuals I'm working on. The manual that is closest to come out will be the Rapid Rapier, which is a condensed single rapier manual designed to help you get the techniques down of rapier. A lot of it is tied to the simple sword, but without all the aspects a teacher needs to know. And I will be putting that out at the new base cost of about $9.99. It is very close to done. I just have to wrap it up. I'd say 3/4 of the way. I want it out by the end of the month if all goes well, barring too many paid art commissions, because I need to make the money. Because the vast majority of the money I make through my other efforts that isn't tucked away goes towards the Historical Fencing Guild. So, guys, have a great night, and I'll see you all very soon. Toodles.